Hello, everyone. I am Mike Ross with the District of Columbia's Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking in Washington, D.C. With me today are DISB Senior Investigator Juliana Tangen and DISB Investigator Shantae Sexton. Today, we will talk about mortgage foreclosure prevention scams, how to identify them, how to avoid them, and what to do if you think you may have fallen for one. Mayor Bowser's administration understands that one of the best ways to empower district residents is by sharing information because knowledge is power. So get ready to take a few notes as we go, and let's get started. First question. Investigator Saxton, let's start at the beginning. What types of mortgage foreclosure prevention scams are out there that our listeners should be aware of?
Well, Mike, scams associated with foreclosure rescue and refinance come in many shapes and sizes, but some of the most common ones include these five. Number one, phony counseling or phantom help, or also what is known as the false intermediary. The way this scam works involves the scam artist telling you that if you pay them a fee, they'll negotiate a deal with your lender to reduce your mortgage payments or save your home. They may claim to be attorneys or represent a law firm. They may tell you not to contact your lender, lawyer, or credit counselor. They promise to handle all the details once you pay them a fee. Then, after you pay them, they stop returning your calls and take off with your money. Number two on our list is what is known as the forensic audit. In exchange for an upfront fee, so-called forensic loan auditors, mortgage loan auditors, or foreclosure prevention auditors offer to have an attorney or other experts review your mortgage documents to determine if your lender complied with the law. However, once they have collected your fee, you will not hear from them again, and your money will be gone. Third on our list are rent-to-buy schemes, where con artists tell you to surrender the title of your house as part of a deal that allows you to stay there as a renter and buy it back later. Unfortunately, it is almost impossible to stay current with the terms of this scheme, and the victim ends up being evicted and losing their home altogether. Number four, residents should beware of fake government modification programs. With these scams, fraudsters pretend to be from the government or authorized by the government to assist you in obtaining a loan modification after paying a fee. Once you pay the fee, you will not hear from the fraudster again, and your money will be gone. And number five on our list, be wary of a scam known as the bait and switch. In a bait and switch scam, con artists give you papers they claim you need to sign to get a loan that will make your mortgage current. But buried in the stack is a document that surrenders the title to your house to the scammers in exchange for a rescue loan.
Great information. Thank you, Shantae. Just to follow up, Juliana, can you tell us what scammers usually say they can do to help homeowners avoid foreclosure?
Mike, scammers understand and prey upon the fear that victims have of losing their homes. They also know that many victims have difficulty navigating bank processes and procedures in getting their homes refinanced or loans modified. Scam artists offer to act as mediators between homeowners and lenders. They negotiate repayment plans or loan modifications. They may even guarantee to save your home from foreclosure.
So, if we could drill down on that a bit more, are there particular instructions that scammers give homeowners? If so, what are those instructions?
During the initial conversation, the scammer will ask the victim for their loan documents and bank statements. They also request notices of intent to foreclose and other documents the victim may have received from their lender or bank.
Juliana, how are foreclosure prevention scams usually perpetrated?
Well, Mike, the scammers will either do a mass email to addresses they have collected and follow up with a phone call, or simply make cold calls from databases they have obtained from any number of sources. The scammers know how to say everything you want to hear to put your mind at ease. So, victims are just happy that someone understands their plight and is offering to help. Scammers will also tell you that your bank or mortgage company is doing things illegally to take your home. They will tell you stories of how they were able to save the homes of many people, and they will provide you with testimonials of people they claim to have helped. They will attempt to explain how the housing loan process works using mortgage jargon to give the impression that they know a lot about the process and want to help you. Then they will instruct you to make your mortgage payments directly to them. Explain that they will forward the payments to the lender and save you the trouble to ensure that the payment gets to the right place. However, the scammers pocket your money and leave you in worse shape with your loan. Other scammers may vary the pitch some, but they will ask for the upfront fee and guarantee they will stop your foreclosure. No one can legitimately guarantee they can stop your foreclosure. So if they do, end your communication with them and do not send money upfront.
This is all fascinating. I imagine scammers can be very persuasive. Are they typically businesses or individuals? Shantae?
Well, Mike, we believe many of these bad actors are individuals posing as companies. They will provide you with a working number and ask you to call it to verify that they represent a legitimate company. When you call the number, the person who answers the call will pretend to represent the company. They will then ask you for money. Once they have your money, you will not hear from them again, and the number will subsequently be out of service.
Juliana, can you tell us how scammers find their victims?
Often, scammers gain access to mortgage data and can determine which homeowners may potentially face foreclosure. They attempt to identify the most vulnerable homeowners, people who are desperately looking for any help they can get. They gather the contact information for the homeowners and place phone calls. Some send you official-looking letters and do a follow-up call a week after you receive the letter, so it all appears very legitimate.
What specific things should homeowners be on the lookout for regarding mortgage foreclosure prevention scams?
Mike, homeowners should be wary of anyone who asks them to pay an upfront fee, anyone that asks them to pay mortgage payments directly to their company, anyone that asks them to surrender or transfer their title and rent the property back until the situation is resolved, often with the promise that they can repurchase the property, or anyone that claims to have auditors who can use their report to help avoid foreclosure, speed the loan modification process, reduce what you owe, or even cancel your loan.
Well, this all seems a little overwhelming. What practical tips can homeowners follow to avoid foreclosure prevention scams?
When the scammers approach you, do not provide them with personal details and do not fax or email them your documents. In addition, consider doing the following if you think you may be facing foreclosure. Contact your lender or mortgage servicer. Ask a legitimate housing or financial counselor for help. District of Columbia residents should contact DSB's Banking Bureau for assistance in finding a housing or financial counselor. Make all your mortgage payments directly to your lender or mortgage servicer. Know what you are signing, and do not sign over your deed without consulting a trusted expert.
I would like to add that foreclosure prevention scams often involve the transfer of ownership to a third party. Never agree to a title transfer before considering advice from your lawyer or an independent person you can trust. When you sign over your deed, you lose your right to your home and any equity you have, but you remain obligated to satisfy the mortgage terms. Your mortgage is a legal contract, and simply signing your house over to someone else does not end your legal obligation under the contract.
This information has been really educational. As we bring this podcast to a close, I'd like to ask one final question. If someone believes they are victims of a foreclosure prevention scam or has been approached by someone they suspect may be trying to scam them, what should they do?
District of Columbia residents can reach out to the DSB Enforcement and Consumer Protection Division at 202-442-8424. Reporting con artists and suspicious schemes may help you and also prevent others from becoming victims. When you call us, you will be put in touch with one of our fraud investigators to discuss your case. Once the investigator has all of the details, they will determine whether your complaint falls within DSB's jurisdiction. If it does, we will proceed with a formal investigation. Depending on the complexity of the investigation, the case will likely be resolved in 90 to 180 days. If your case is more appropriate for another agency to handle, we will provide guidance on who to contact. Either way, your information will be documented in our system. It would be helpful if you can provide us with any names, phone numbers, or emails associated with the fraudulent activity, even if they are fake. We may also ask you to provide us with copies of documents that pertain to your complaint. but keep any originals of those documents safe, as the originals may be helpful if your complaint results in either a criminal or administrative prosecution. Your complaints are important to us. We promise to do everything legally possible to seek justice, and even if we are not able to resolve your case, your information is documented. This is helpful because we may receive other complaints with new information about the same scams that may help us get one step closer to catching the bad guys. And remember, while we are here to help, we want you to make every effort to avoid these scams from the very beginning.
This concludes Disby's Foreclosure Prevention Scam Podcast. Thank you for joining us. For more information about the department's services and resources, visit disb.dc.gov or call 202-727-8000 and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.